Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Now, this man's got both headlights on. It's our Ralph McAllister, and we say good morning to him. Good morning, Ralph.
Oh, good morning. I had difficulty hearing you there for a minute. Is that your machine or is it me?
Oh, I don't know, Ralph. I really don't know, but you can hear me loud and clear now, can't you?
Oh, well, yes, I can. Okay.
Good. Okay, well, you're immersed in this football, of course. You went to where? Scotland when you were an 8-year-old for the World Cup.
Well, I won't go on about it, but my grandfather took me to a match in Glasgow. I was 8 years old, and there were 130,000 people there.
Goodness.
This was the time when, of course, you didn't worry too much about safety. You just packed people in, and I was hooked because it was between Rangers, Glasgow Rangers, and Glasgow Celtic. And, of course, I was a true blue, literally, Rangers supporter. And that started a lifelong love of that sport. And, of course, this week and last and next week, it's going so well in Russia. I'm just so excited because it's a real showcase, isn't it, for quality, world-class football. And as I said to you, as long as you didn't talk about the results this morning, which I've recorded and I'm halfway through, I will talk to you about my World Cup story. I was at the World Cup final in 66, bit of a difference. And I was one of the 12,000 people who won a ballot for the final. So there were 12,000 strangers all in the same part of the ground. And at the end of the beginning of extra time, when England was playing Germany, the little man sat down on the terrace beside me, pulled my sleeve and said, "Have a sweetie. Please tell me what happens. I can't bear to look." And he sat for the last half hour, and I gave him a running commentary as finally England won the first and only World Cup in their history.
Yes.
That was 50 years ago, Nigel, and we're still here.
Yes, that's right. And which country was that held in?
This was in Wembley,
right.
66.
Yep.
And, of course, the English are still talking about that victory.
Yes.
So it was a wonderful occasion, and
well,
I love all that wonderful crowd scenes you get, the pictures, the colour, the enthusiasm. You know, it's such a release for some sort of spurious happiness, isn't it?
And I think for the Russians, just for them to get through to the next stage has been the highlight of the week, hasn't it? Because that's really made it for them.
Well, that's right, because they were the lowest-ranked team of the whole competition, and they've got through to the last 16. So, yeah, it's pretty wonderful, I think, and good luck to them. I don't think they'll get any further.
No.
But I chose my winners last week, and I've got 2 right and 2 wrong so far, so... Can I change the subject completely?
Well, I won't tell you any scores, so we better change the subject. So what are we going to talk about now, Ralph?
Well, if you tell me the scores, I'll hang up and I won't speak to you again for a week, all right?
Good. No, way you go.
Well, I've just went to the public library in Paraparaumu yesterday, and of course I'd completely forgotten, but there's a beautiful little exhibition. I don't know if you walk in the main entrance, there's a little room to the right as you walk in.
Yes.
And it's mainly kept for exhibitions. It's called the Robert Dean Gallery. And I sort of looked in and I suddenly realised that I recognised the paintings. It turned out, of course, they're my sister-in-law's, Lydia McAllister's. And so I thought, oh, that's wonderful. And then as I was sitting there talking to her, because she's there most days to receive people if they want to, and leave them alone if they just want to watch. And I heard a guy saying to her, "Oh, where have you been? I haven't seen any of your work before." So I just thought I'll mention her today, and it might be nepotism, I don't know, but her work is such an eclectic mix of different textures, different colours, different materials, that it sort of strikes me that it's accessible to everybody. It's not just portrait work. It's much, much more than that. There's a mixture of the sort of all different types of subjects. And what I found interesting was when she started telling one of her customers where the ideas came from and how they went their way. So what I'm sort of suggesting to your listeners is if they're in the library, pop in and say hello to Lydia, because she's terribly sort of amenable to discussing, particularly her work, and of course is in Kapiti, and that, you know, as she herself would say, it's just a lovely little space, and it's for the community, and I think it's worth people just knowing about. If they don't go and see my sister-in-law Lydia's collection, they might go and see the next one. So that's my free plug for today, along with my tip for the winners of the Hull World Cup at this stage, and I'll give you that next week if you want.
I think France might win it.
Yes, so you think that, and I don't agree with you, but I'm not going to say.
No, you being an Englishman, you wouldn't pick France, of course. But however,
and we've also got a show on Saturday, which we should talk about next week. Another show by Ali Harper, and I'm very keen to see what she does this time.
Yeah, only your publicity is different to mine, I believe. I've got Songs for Nobodies, which I'm talking to Ali today about at about 10:35. But you got Songs for who?
Well, you must tell us, because my publicity, I'll send it to you, missed out the B in Songs for Nobodies.
Yes.
And it's now on publicity for me, Songs for Nudies. So I'm dying to see Ali without any clothes on. Tell her that, and she'll laugh.
Good on you, Ralph. Hey, thanks for your time today, and enjoy your football this afternoon or this morning.
Don't tell me who won.
I wouldn't dare. I'll catch up with you on Saturday night, no doubt.
That'd be nice.
Good on you. Ralph McAllister.
106.3 Beach FM.